So, episode 6, wow, we've really entered into George Lucas territory. It's Revenge of the Sith.
I've been to the top of the mountain, and it's good.
So, we're going to be having a great sexual time tonight. We're going to be talking about we're going to be talking about all sorts of great things with you guys, about stuff that we watched, stuff that we got to experience with the Comic-Con trailers that dropped. We're going to be talking about your mom and your dad.
Oh, I love him.
And all sorts of cool things.
I love him.
So welcome to episode 6, you sick sexy fuckers. So let's begin with something that I wanted to talk about early on.
Bring it. Bring the action.
How the fuck
Action
can Geordie
Jones.
LaForge ever host Reading Rainbow when he's blind? So I want to get. I want to first off start talking about.
Can't you talk?
I can't talk.
Spit it out, you
I
fucking
want
hoker.
to first start off by talking about
My wiener.
No, I want to talk about
Tell me of Ohio.
SDCC and the Comic-Con trailers that we got to experience this week.
Don't use abbreviations, you cunt.
San Diego Comic-Con, you fuckface. I just didn't know.
Fuck face.
SDCC is what all the kids are saying.
That sounds like a venereal disease.
It always did. So, yeah, every trailer that we watched, whether it be a Marvel or a DC film, we got to watch Ragnarok, Justice League, Stranger Things 2, and then it wasn't a part of the San Diego Comic-Con trailer lineup, but still, we got to watch that. Everything was fucking badass. Everything was awesome. Really, San Diego Comic-Con outdid themselves this year. Like, everything was great. I wish I could have been at San Diego Comic-Con. I didn't say that at all.
Oh, dude. No. I'm sorry, I
Is
didn't
that
mean to
bad?
interrupt you. This is the worst. Oh my god.
Your first experience with gay.
Oh my god. No, dude.
At least you know now.
Okay, I have to cut you off. I'm sorry. I have to explain my business like this right now. My mom and dad are going to be so mad at me. I got the American Summer Samuel Adams 12-pack.
Yeah.
And I've been trying some new beers, and I just opened up the Berliner Weiss, refreshing and effervescent.
I don't believe it was refreshing at all.
Dude, you got to try it. Try it on air right now. It tastes like what I imagine a Sour Patch Kid's butthole would taste like.
You're really selling it to me.
Yeah, try that shit and keep it. You can have it. It's yours. Take it. It's yours.
Thunder sucks.
Fuck you, Thunder.
Fuck buddies.
It's the worst.
Oh
isn't
my
it?
god, it's so sour.
Is that what's supposed to be a sour beer?
Yeah, sour.
Do you like it? Do you want to keep it?
I'm gonna drink it because I'm poor.
Okay, drink it. I'm gonna get a new beer. You finish what you were
All
saying.
right. So anyway, god damn, that was nasty. So San Diego Comic-Con, man. Whether you be a Marvel or a DC fan, I think they both present it well. They both brought the guns. They put their dicks out on the table and said, which one's bigger? And you both were like, I'm pretty impressed with both, I gotta be honest. Because Ragnarok was great with the 80s feel. It had that real Lethal Weapon, Murtaugh and Riggs kind of thing going with it. And you had the Justice League, which was like a dark version of the Avengers and the DC stylization that we all want and we need in our lives. Because you already got the Avengers, and now you want something new and cool, and unite the Seven, and they're going to unite the Seven. Plus, you got the little sneak possibility of either... I heard rumors about this. At the very end of the trailer, a lot of people are saying, well, it's Superman, obviously, that shows up, with the Jurassic Park moment with Alfred.
blade.
Yeah, but some people were saying there's also speculation that's Green Lantern that shows up. They've kept the casting really, really under wraps, and to have him show up at the very end of the movie as a Green Lantern. But then again, why would Alfred say, well, they said you'd come, and, I don't know. Everybody, you've been looking at that porn magazine for a while, and they said you'd come.
Ironically about that dude is that Alfred, Jeremy Irons, I'm trying to take off my shoes.
Don't do it. It stinks.
I'm not wearing any socks. Jeremy Irons, he talks shit about Batman vs Superman. Do you remember that? We did a video on that, like where he was like, I don't remember what he said, but he talked shit about it, and now he's back for this, and he actually had a prominent role in the trailer. But yeah, it's got to be Superman.
But we could have been...
I think it's Superman for sure.
Well, I think it is too, but I think that we might have maybe people misunderstood Jeremy Irons, because why would you come back for a huge part in Justice League?
When he dissed it, he basically said, yeah, but I'm making a huge fucking paycheck.
Well, fuck you, but I love you, and that seems like
he's still a great Alfred.
Yeah, he is a great Alfred. So either way, and then those were great. Those were the comic book parts of it. But then you got like Stranger Things 2 and Ready Player One, and I don't think there was a lot of hate going on with Stranger Things 2. Everybody universally agreed that Stranger Things 2 is an epitome of a badass 80s fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You feel good, I feel good. Let's go rent a movie at Movie Warehouse.
They took the ultimate 80s horror feel show and then added Halloween and Ghostbusters to it. And then it's just like, well, fuck, it's not even fair.
I felt cool that they had Ghostbusters and they had Dragon's Lair. They had all sorts of little pieces of the 80s pie, and you were just like, it was really nostalgic if you even had a moment in the 80s to go back and see that. You know, if you played a Nintendo Super Mario Brothers 3 or whatever, you were just like, fuck, it's so badass.
Pop quiz hotshot, would you rather your dick be named the Demigorgon or the Kraken?
The Kraken.
Yeah, Kraken sounds cool. Demigorgon sounds like it's going to give
Demigorgon,
you something.
Demigorgon just already sounds like an STD.
Yeah.
If you said Kraken, you could just be like, release the Kraken.
Yeah, you could say
so,
that.
yeah, you can't say release the Demigorgon. They'd be like, no, go to the hospital.
If you said I released the Demigorgon, she'd be like, I hope I roll a 6.
Yeah, or they'll say go to the hospital. But either way, yeah. And then also Ready Player One. Now, this is one I want to talk about specifically because I didn't know that this was happening. There was a lot of hate going on this trailer. I saw it in a few articles that a lot of fans and just San Diego Comic-Con goers were hating on the movie or hating on the trailer, saying it was like every kind of worst trope or worst idea ever rolled into one thing and thrown into a movie, like vomited into a movie, like something got into the
Two
reservoir.
girls, 1 cup of neon artificial.
Well, I don't believe that there was anybody eating poop off a plate, but it could have been possible. But like they were giving it hate, and I'm like, listen, I don't know what you fuckers smoked or if you were just off your mom's tit. It was not a bad, like, you get everything. You get the Iron Giant, you get things that there was apparently a DeLorean that Mike and I didn't even see from Back to the Future. You get Freddy Krueger. There's all sorts of cool things that Steven Spielberg, I think, that was just giving. It's like kind of like a love letter to nerdy fans out there for everybody to love and hold.
You know what? I didn't like it that much.
I thought it was really good.
I know you liked it a lot. I thought it was fine. It didn't bother. I wasn't mad by it. Of course, I have no ties to whatever the original content is. Apparently, it's based on a book.
And there's turtles in it too. Turtles in a half shell.
Turtles in a half shell.
Turtle power.
But ninja
Rap.
But I mean, I just thought it was okay. It looked. I mean, I know that Tron was a moment in the trailer, but the whole trailer felt Tron to me.
Well, they said that the bike that I thought was Tron, it was actually Akira, which I don't know what Akira is.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of like.
It sounds like a hot Asian girlfriend that I want, but
it's like a
I'm dating Akira.
It's like a meta Golden Corral. It's just like fucking have some macaroni and some slop.
Either way, it was a cool ass fucking trailer, and I thought that everything that came out of San Diego Comic-Con, as far as those big trailers that dropped, were really good.
Yeah, I didn't think it was bad at all.
I mean, we
didn't excite my nether regions.
But I will talk, like, what we just recently watched
didn't
was
engorge them.
It. The new It trailer. Wowzer McFucking Thowzers.
Yeah.
Some great shit dropped with that. You actually get to hear Pennywise's voice for the first time, and there was a lot of, doubt and not just maybe doubt, but just maybe being people unsure about is it going to match up to Tim Curry. It doesn't match up to Tim Curry. Tim Curry's got his special thing going on with Pennywise, but I liked how they did their own version of his voice to match the new characterization of Pennywise.
Yeah.
Because Tim Curry's voice it wouldn't have fit in this new realm of Pennywise. Still, man, it has some creepy vibes. It's got some cool atmospheric building parts to it in the trailer, and it's got some really badass imagery to a point where even like when he spoke in the little sewer drain, which, by the way, are you not watching your fucking kids when they go out in the rain? Anyway, in the sewer drain, when he pops up and he starts talking, it gave me chills, man. Like, I was like, that's some fucking badass shit. And
I thought the voice was great. It's not Tim Curry, and I don't want it to be Tim Curry. I don't want someone to try to be Tim Curry.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have, it kind of backfired on Jackie Earle Haley when he took over for Freddy Krueger, because he did his own voice and he did his own version of Freddy Krueger, and people crucified him for it. But that movie had a lot of production value. There was a lot of problems on set with that movie as far as direction goes and story and pacing. That movie was just.
Oh, I got to talk about this real quick though, since we're talking about the It trailer. Like today, I was at work until 4, and you were working 12 to 8, and we actually got this one out pretty early for us, in our standards at least. We got the trailer out early because Jay took his lunch break. I got off work, and normally when I get off work, I run to the gym real quick, and then I go pick up the kids
to look
afterwards.
at the dudes.
Yeah, that's why I built.
To look at those dudes' dicks.
I want to see some naked dudes. That's why
you just run to the bathroom and hide in the closet.
That's why I built this pool. But no, I usually run to the gym, and then I go pick up the kids kids and I go get dinner or whatever. But today the It trailer dropped. We knew it was going to drop, so I ran straight home. I got the whole setup happening, because the setup you guys see in the YouTube videos, by the way, is just my fucking living room. So it doesn't just stay that way. We have to recreate that every goddamn video.
You just ruined the fantasy.
I know. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. And my
They
wife,
think that we just go into a portal and we have our WAM.
my wife fucking.
We have a
hates it.
secret
I
WAM
live in
layer.
a tiny house, and I have to do that. But no, so that happened, and I ran home, and I got it all set up, and you ran off in your lunch, and we got all shit together, and then I had to run to my sister's house, which, you know, she only lives a couple miles down the road, to upload it, because my internet sucks dick, which is why we can't play the Friday the 13th game. And
we also don't understand computers that well.
Yeah. So, so I do that. I do all this shit, and I want to share this with you guys. The reaction to the video is fucking awesome.
Mostly it's positive.
But this
fucking
it's like
douchehole.
4,000 views right now, which is huge for us. That's always amazing. But here's the thing: this one guy, he got on here, and his name is LPWise.
I don't even want to talk about it, because he's such a fucking asshole.
And it's not even that situation where I'm like, I'm not gonna. I don't want people to be like, hey, go hate this fucking guy.
Yeah,
I don't care at all.
Yeah.
Like, I actually found it almost entertaining, but I feel like it'll be entertaining for you guys to hear this monologue, and it doesn't hurt me or bother me at all. I'm just like, damn, this guy, like, dude, if you need to talk, like, I'll talk to you.
Not just that he needs to talk, dude. This guy needs dick or fucking vagina or something in his life.
I think he's just so angry at life. But okay, let's start it off. Are you ready?
Or like Mary Poppins marathons.
First comment, which got 5 likes, by the way. Some people agree with them.
Good for you. Yeah, we have some dislikes.
We are
a love or hate channel for sure.
Yeah, definitely. This guy. Okay, first comment. Dickheads, you loud, awful cuts. What he meant to say was cunts.
Yeah, you're a cunt. So fuck you.
Scrolling down. Just a few minutes later, what do we have for him, Johnny? Just a few minutes later.
Your mom's a cunt.
Okay, here we go. Here's the next one. This one got 1 like. You people make me want to vomit.
You smell like vomit.
Very next comment. Shite video. Ready?
Shit. But you can say it right.
All right. A few comments. Now he took a little break. He had a drink. Had another drink.
And more than one. Yeah. Definitely.
And he admits this at some point later in the comment section. But come on, where is it? Come on, you fucker. I want more. There's a lot. This guy was literally our arch nemesis. Here's this one. Oh, this one's got 5 replies. This one just says knob eds.
Knob heads.
KNOB eds.
Yeah, that means, I think knob in Britain means your dick.
Yeah, I guess.
Like knob.
And then our boy Rex Fellis, longtime subscriber, was like, "God damn, shut the fuck up, kid! You're wasting a lot of your time on a channel you don't like," which is a good point. Like, this guy's he's staying around. This guy says he admits it. He's just open about it. This is what I find fucking interesting as shit about this person. Like, he's just open about his hatred of life. Mate, I'm 30, drunk, and in no mood for shit patter. This trailer tipped me over the edge. So poor. I'm probably wasting my time. You're not wrong there, but I'm just so fucking angry right now. These unfunny clowns on this reaction vid are soft targets. I don't even feel bad ripping them because they're obviously simpletons.
Okay, so, like, you're saying that you would go to a fucking person that's mentally challenged and, like, rip them apart?
Yeah. Rex Fellis defends us again in his beautiful way, and then this guy continues, "It was the trailer, pal. Then these giblets acting all scared and whatnot. Ah, Christ. You're right, though. I need to take myself down a peg. Sleep on it, I suppose. Haha, it's more like 29 posts I made, pal. I stand by them all, especially the one way down there. Darling," it said. What?
I don't know what you want, man. Do you want us to give you attention? Are you that desperate for attention? Like, you want people to recognize and know that you exist in life? Like, you fucking sad, pathetic little sack of shit.
But wait, there's more. Like I said, I'm not even angry about it, dude. I
feel
bad for him. Like,
I don't feel bad for him.
Read the book, then hold on to your nappy.
I read the book, bitch.
Then hold on to your nappy content. I'm pretty sure he meant to say crappy, but maybe he thinks we have nappy hair. Freaks.
That's racist.
Freaks. Like, you were really scared by the trailer, acting scared for the purposes of a shit video. Only slime subscribe to this utter garbage. Stop now. Terrible video. I fucking hate these reaction vids. Pretending to be all freaked out by trailers. Nobody really acts like that. Freaks, stop now. Awful. You'll Float 2 was annoying. I'm a fan that wanted to be Belta. I hope to fucking be awesome.
What are you doing?
This trailer let me down. You fucking clowns are part of the toilet.
He took a
You fucking clowns are part of the toilet. You freaks float along with the rest of the scum of the toilet bowl. Terrible humor. Nobody likes it. Only giblets with humor dig thou's humor. Fucking shit.
I gotta say, you're so mad that I fucked your mom. Like, you just can't get over the fact that I did that.
He said,
like, you know, it's Okay, keep going. I want.
Okay, here's the next comment. Shite video, stupid, annoying filth. Poofs. He said poofs.
He's
like we're a lady fart.
Like
poofs.
He disappeared us away.
The next comment. Stop making videos. You're fucking terrible. Really annoying. Unfunny yanks. Next comment. Awful video. Next comment. People watch you giblets watching trailers. Why not watch the trailer themselves and then act the shit laughs? Just watch the trailer natural like. Terrible show. Terrible guys. Stop now.
We've really we put him in a spike in his brain.
He commented to himself, "Stupid unfunny assholes. Who likes that whilst watching a trailer? Only stupid cunts. Please stop. Ah, dickheads. I hate you both so much. That whole you'll float 2 bit let me down. It's cringeworthy, and you'll love it. Read the book, then get a bird. Shitheads."
Get a bird?
I don't even know.
I'm gonna get a bird because I have to read the book and then get a bird.
Okay,
or do I get a bird before I read the book?
I think that's actually it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
so that was the whole monologue.
That
was the vagina monologues.
I want to say, help is in your future. There are things and places that you can go and find help, because obviously you are in desperate need of attention, since we both have fucking trained your mom with Thomas the Train.
I think all that's so obvious. I just think that it's so funny to me that this guy was just so mad and open about it. He was like, yeah, I'm a piece of shit, but fuck these guys. Like, he hated us so fucking bad.
So what it sounds to me like that he hated was he just hates trailer reactions. He hates people watching reactions with people. And you know what?
Maybe that's why I'm not mad, because I get where he's coming from.
I know exactly what he's talking about, but we didn't fake anything, guys. No. We don't. When we watched those trailers, like Mike and I, we met when the Justice League stuff dropped and the Ragnarok trailer and all the other ones. We hadn't watched those at all. We purposefully did not watch those so that we could meet, and they were late. We met so that we could watch those with you guys and give you a natural reaction to it. I don't pretend to be. I don't even know how to fucking act. I don't know how to fucking act to be fake on camera, to do that kind of shit. Like, I've seen a lot of reaction channels, and I know what he's talking about. The ones that fake fucking scare or fake fucking impressive.
It's like every second. It's like an explosion in an action movie trailer. That was no big deal.
I ain't never seen no explosion on film.
And their reaction is, oh! And they put their hands on their helmet and on their heads, and they're like, oh my god! Oh my god! Like, you can tell when it's fake. And honestly, when I watch people do that, I get fucking mad too. I'm like, dude, why are you even doing this? It's so bullshit.
Well, and so in that regard,
I thought we were doing that.
I do get what he's saying, and I don't, but I'm not gonna, dude. I'll cut you up every fucking day, cunt. If you want to fucking come at roasting, I'll roast your fucking bitch ass. Anyway, you're 30 years old commenting on a video that you hate, and that to me tells me that you're a sad little motherfucker. But either way, my point is saying that I get your rage and your anger at reaction videos if you think they're fake, but honestly, if you will give us 5 seconds to explain, you bitch, and this is more than you deserve, because you really don't, because you're not a subscriber at all, I'm sure. If you go back and watch the other videos or other channel or other things that we've done on the channel, the reason why you probably felt that we were faking being scared is jump scares do get to me. Like, I don't like jump scares, and it was really fucking loud, and we have headphones on, and I was like leaning into the video watching it, and it scared me. I don't like jump scares, and everybody fucking knows that's been a subscriber.
You're right, that is more than he deserves, because I don't actually even take it seriously. Like, it doesn't actually deserve like a dignified response. I just find it fucking funny, and I actually do. But I mean, if we're gonna defend ourselves, not that we have to. The thing is if you're being honest, the truth is, if I'm sitting by myself in a dark room and I'm watching a trailer, I'm not going to fucking react to it at all. I might be like, oh, or something like that, But no, of course, you make jokes and shit. I wanted the video to be entertaining. But I think faking faking a scare or faking like a huge, like, oh my god, it's Thor. Thor's here. Oh my god, Thor. Oh my god, oh fuck.
Where's his hammer?
I hate it. I fucking hate it when people do that too. It's so sad. But I mean, for us, like, we just want to be entertaining. And like, I think at one point a jump scare popped up, and I was like, oh, senorita. Yeah, like, I was making a joke on purpose. Yeah. But I mean, and actually, the It trailer did scare me. I actually think that movie is going on to actual things that matter. That fucking dude, I think that movie's actually going to be scary.
I think so too. And not to mention the fact, okay, so like you mentioned, I just want to bring that back. The fact that you said if you were in a dark room, you're not going to have that much of a reaction if you're just by yourself watching a trailer. That's true. But Mike and I literally have watched trailers together before we did a trailer review when we couldn't put Pip or picture in picture in the, and we'll react the same way. We'll be like, holy fuck, did you see that?
You know what? That's true. If you and I are watching a trailer together, I might. It's pretty much the exact same way it would be in the videos.
But it's natural then. It's like, holy fuck, did you see that? Like, we'll talk to each other, and that's what you get on camera. It's like it's as naturalistic as you can get.
I hate fake trailer reactions too, though.
But we're not faking it, and I don't know. You know, obviously, if you don't like us, you don't fucking like us. If you don't think we're funny, you don't think it's funny. We're fucking Yanks. I'll yank your mom's tits. But either way, I don't care. But the fact
I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
Yeah, I will. I'll find a way. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. You're just an angry guy, man. And you admitted in the comments that you were drinking too much. Yeah. So I get it, man. You were just drunk and you were fucking raging on the internet. And cool, man.
It bothers me not.
It doesn't bother me. I just feel like in some way I'm just like, I just want to understand you. Like, I feel like Loomis, like, what is your needs, Michael?
Sometimes I will argue with people in the comment section, like, just because, like, and I've actually gotten to a point several times where I've argued with someone so deeply, and, like, I've gotten in such a corner with them that by the end of it, I actually just feel bad for them. Because sometimes in the end of it, they'll, like, when someone's just, because honestly, dude, and this is the honest truth about me, whether you hate us or not, that's fine. I don't care if you hate us. I don't blame you, really. I might not even like us if I came across this.
I look at us in the mirror like, God, you fucking suck.
But me personally, like, and this is the honest to God's truth. It's not because I do YouTube or anything. Like, I don't even fucking like some aspects of YouTube. But I mean, it's a place that we go to talk about movies, and we've gotten friends there, and it's awesome. But here's the thing: like, I've never, ever, not one single time in my entire life, have I ever watched a video and felt the need to either click dislike or say something mean to the person trying.
I think the most I've ever done was if I really enjoyed the video and I liked it a lot, I would click like, and I would give them. I don't comment on them. I'll click a like button.
I've commented before positively, but never ever negatively.
But dislikes, I don't even give. I mean, unless you're like showcasing child porn and you're like defending like that shit, I might be like, you're a piece of fucking shit. Like at that point, I'll be like, you're garbage. You're a garbage head. Yeah. But otherwise, you know, the whole YouTube thing that we're even doing it for, like, guys, we're not making that much money. We're like literally making fucking beggars coins right now. But like the reason why the whole thing with YouTube, at least for me, is I need friends. But no, I mean, in reality, that's what I feel like. It's like Mike and I just talk about movies. We all love it, and then you guys out there, the ones that subscribe, the ones that find us, buried deep in YouTube butt crack because they love to fucking bury us with their fucking fingers. You guys have the same kind of sense of humor. You guys have the same kind of outlook on movies. You guys love to get together and talk about stuff. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for a community that just enjoys those kind of aspects of movies that we do. And
don't get me wrong, this has to maintain a certain level of success for me to be able to justify the amount of time that we put into it and stuff like that. Like it does. Like you know, it's got to maintain that. But don't get me wrong, when I say I hate YouTube, it's not that I don't hate YouTube. I hate what other people have made YouTube.
I hate the politics of YouTube.
The VidCon fucking Instagram model YouTube. Like the fact that like 12-year-old kids are like, I want to be like some kid who just makes stupid faces on videos or whatever, which is basically what we do. I'm not saying that, but
we actually give content.
YouTube, there's a whole dark area of YouTube, and I'm not talking about people like picking their butts like in their basements, like that dark YouTube. I'm talking about the dark YouTube that has people mobbing people in public over fucking doing absolutely nothing and shit like that. Like I never classify when someone asks me what we do. I'm never like, I'm a YouTuber. Like I never
that
ever
makes me
ever
sick
do
to
that.
even say that.
Like no, that's not it. Like I talk about movies and like I don't even know what the fuck you would call it.
I don't even know. You know what? When people ask, for me, like I don't even like. I say we're on YouTube or something, but I never go, oh yeah, I'm a YouTuber, dog. That, to me, that sounds stupid. I was just like, you know,
YouTube just happened to be the platform of which we found our dicks.
Yeah, and mine was big. I gotta admit. No, but the truth is that like when people ask us like what we do or whatever, or like if they find us or if they see our channel or something, like, well, so you're YouTubers, like, you know, whatever. I don't even consider you guys subscribers. Like, I don't even look, or fans, or some people's like friends, like a community that we all hang out with, because the We Watched a Movie thing is growing, which is great, and I love that. And it's only because all of us are doing it together, and that's what I like the best, that we're all doing it together. So this fucking asshole, like, and, you know, he's one of many. Like, we're just particularly picking him out now because he responded to himself 6 fucking times, which is impressive, by the way.
I found it funny.
So, but, you know, there's going to be haters, and people are going to do that, or whatever. But ultimately, We love you guys, and we've never faked anything. We've actually, a long time ago, were accused of scripting our shit, which is insane. We've never scripted anything. Yeah. Do you think that if you watch our videos, do we look like two motherfuckers can script anything? Like nothing. But anyway,
even the skits for the most part aren't scripted. There's been a couple where we've tried to write a few things down, like, oh, let's do this and try to plan it out. But for the most part, it's all fucking. Especially if you see us doing a review or a movie news segment or anything like that, that's absolutely 1,000% off the cuff. No doubt about it. Yeah. There's a couple of skits, like the Dr. Loomis interview someone, where we'll write down a couple things beforehand.
And, but we play two different sides to it.
Yeah, we'll actually film like one segment of it with like a couple written questions just to get us started, and then we'll do a whole entire segment of off the cuff stuff. And you know what? What actually makes the video 90% of the time is the off the cuff stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not like we plan anything out anyway. But the point, we're getting off topic. I just want to talk about this trailer really quick. We talked about the trailer a little bit. Again, the trailer looks phenomenal. It looks great. I can't wait to see it. And you know, I think you mentioned it off camera. It's going to be genuinely scary. I think it's going to be a genuinely scary horror movie that it's not going to be just like a Stephen King, another movie. It's going to be like a really good fucking scary movie.
Yeah, dude. The mix of the cinematography and the score that they created for that, and the creepy just look of the film on top of everything else, dude. I fucking and you know what? Before the movie came out, I did not have high hopes. But after seeing that second trailer, man, I really do have high hopes. And I maybe end up really fucking disappointed. But right now, I'm super looking forward to it.
I think they hit the nail on the head, my brother, with the casting, for sure. I mean, because, the kids in it, the Losers Club.
Yeah.
I think that they epitomize exactly what like the Stranger Things cast did. Like those kids, like they feel the same fucking way, and that like you're put in a supernatural situation with these kids, and they're doing what they got to do. And there's a goddamn clown that got mad because he got turned down for McDonald's, Ronald McDonald, and he's got dude. I mean, it just looks really cool. I mean, I'm making jokes, but that is in of itself, it just really looks like a cool slasher, mystery, horror, thriller movie, supernatural too. And that's cool, man. That's a rare thing.
It looks creepy goth, which surprises me.
No, I don't like it.
It's got a creepy goth feel with his like garb.
That makes me think, when you say creepy goth, though, I just think of like Neve Campbell in Witchcraft. or whatever that movie is.
No, I mean like legit. Like,
she's gonna call me with black lipstick.
But anyway, we should actually get into something here that we plan on talking about since time's limited. I gotta get up in like 4 hours. But
Dunkirk.
Fuck my face with boats. From
Dunkirk. Dunkirk.
This is late as shit.
It's been out for a while, but I will say that this movie Dunkirked my ass. Like, it was really good. I mean, okay, so it's not the great. No, to me, it was really good. It wasn't like the greatest war movie I've ever seen in my life. And they were trying to bill it in some ways as that. It's visually stunning. It doesn't need words. It doesn't need a script at all. At the point where the actors talk sometimes, but you don't need it. It's all visual. It's all visual. I still hold true, and I'm not saying anything against Nolan or what happened at Dunkirk, but to me, the greatest. I'm saying.
I know it sounded like he was there. It's not your fault what happened at Dunkirk, Christopher.
I stormed the Normandy, bitches. But I will say that Saving Private Ryan to me is probably the most, closest realism to a horror, to the horror and craziness of war that I've ever seen. I mean, a lot of people still hold Saving Private Ryan up as number one. I mean, just the way it looked, the way it was shot, and there was a story behind it. But either way, Dunkirk. It's still a solid movie, man, and it's still sad, and you still see a lot of these things going on. But again, man, it's all visual. It's just there doesn't need to be any script at all, really.
I totally agree. And actually, I'll say this, and this is going to be very contradictory to the rest of my thoughts about the film, but I do think that this could make a really good argument for the best looking war film of all time. That being said, man, this movie lacked all the emotional edge of so many war movies before it. First off, from the get-go, from the second the movie starts, man, when that kid is walking around, I say this jokingly, but it's also kind of true. This kid, the first kid you see, he has to poop. They're dropping these pamphlets down on these people trapped.
I gotta take a shit.
Yeah, they're dropping these pamphlets down, and they all say basically this. They're like, "Hey, you are here, and you're fucking surrounded, and this is literally a picture of how fucked you are." And this dude's just trying to take a poop in this ghost town, so he starts collecting them to take a shit.
Takes a poop in the
And then he starts getting shot at, and he takes a run, and then he finally gets to the beach where all
that make you want to poop more. So.
Yeah, well, he finally gets to the promised land, right? Like, have you ever had to poop and then you get close to a
you
toilet
find a perfect spot? Yeah,
the pain goes away because your body knows.
No, dude, it gets worse. Mine gets worse.
No, for me, I get better. When I know I'm getting close to a toilet, the pain stops.
It's like
for just
running.
A second.
It's like running towards the golden altar. Like, you know, I'm gonna drop my pants and shit in that.
But then if you get there,
then, like,
and the bathroom
occupied.
is closed,
oh god,
this dude finally he's getting shot at. He's running away.
I'll shoot somebody.
And finally, he's on the beach and he's with his brethren, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take a big dump right here in this sand."
You're really close.
Me and Katy Perry. he bends over to take a shit, and all of a sudden he looks over, and this dude's burying someone in the fucking sand, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And he pulls his pants back up. Now, me and my wife had an argument about this on the way home because I told her the joke.
I'd have finished the dump.
The whole point of the joke that I was trying to lead into was the entire fucking movie. All I could think about was, did he ever get to take his shit?
I thought you were gonna say the entire, like, you had to take a poop at that moment.
No, I didn't. I was just concerned. All this stuff, people were dying. Tom Hardy was flying around. Everything was serious. But the entire movie, I was like, did that guy ever get to take a dump?
I think that he got one. He pinched it off.
She argued with me that he pooped in that beach scene.
No, he didn't poop that fast.
That's what I said.
There's no way.
And he didn't wipe. He was like, fuck wiping.
Well, you're in war. So you don't have time to wipe.
But in all seriousness, like, here's my problem with the movie. You feel some emotional attachment because human beings are dying or whatever, and these guys are up against great odds and all this stuff like going on. And there's a tiny bit of dialogue at the end of the movie where they're like, by land, by sea, we'll do whatever we have to do.
We'll never surrender.
Yeah, that little part was pretty good emotionally or whatever, but other than that, dude, I just felt no tie to it. I felt no stakes.
Well,
I felt no stakes. I felt no emotional ties. And you know what?
You didn't have steak?
I didn't even know who anybody was in the movie because Tom Hardy, for some reason, Christopher Nolan has a huge boner for covering his fucking mouth and not letting you hear what the fuck he's saying.
Yeah, dude, I had a problem with that too. I was like, can we just not pop a subtitle in once or twice?
Cillian Murphy
totally did
wasted.
nothing. Cillian Murphy did nothing. Cillian Murphy was just there.
Well, let me put it this way: if Cillian Murphy wasn't in the trailer whatsoever, his entire arc was basically in the trailer.
Well,
if you didn't know that, it would have been he was good. It was a good scene.
Well, here's the thing:
it was in the trailer.
Well, here's the thing: there was really no main character of the movie. If you had to pick a main character, it would be Tom Hardy. But even he literally flew in and out of the scenes.
How much fuel do I have?
With a plane.
I've got 15 miles of fuel.
I will glide to the beaches.
We will need it.
No surrender. Impossible. Anyway, yeah, maybe you could pick the guy at the very beginning of the movie as the main character, but really, I just felt like he was trying to tell the story of everybody.
They all looked the exact same.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because
they all look like Harry Styles.
They have army uniforms.
I found myself halfway through the movie just going, "Is that Harry Styles?
They wear army
Is that
uniforms.
Harry Styles?"
And
I don't even know who the fuck Harry Styles is.
He's part of One Direction, I think.
Yeah, he is. I didn't know that, but when I saw it though, and my wife was like, "That's Harry Styles." And literally, even though I didn't know who the fuck this guy was, I was so confused by who anybody in the movie was. I found myself honestly in the middle of this classic fucking movie going, "Is that him? Is that guy?
You don't know you're beautiful.
Is he handsome enough?"
No, he's not. So the thing is, I think that you can make an argument that there is no real main lead in the movie, and in and of itself, that's pretty cool. Like that you're trying to tell a general story. Yeah, you're trying to tell a general story about the struggle and the reality of what Dunkirk actually represented to the British people, and how terrible of a tragedy that was. Well, not really a tragedy, but more of a heroism and hope that they were. Because it is. There is a hopeful.
The story's great.
Yeah, there's a hopeful thing. You literally you're contracting. Civilian ships to come rescue their countrymen from the beaches of France and get them back home before they all die, because all the destroyers that could have done that, the Navy, are preoccupied at that moment with protecting the homeland of Britain for a counter attack by Germany. You fucking Hitler bitch. So that in and of itself is a really cool prospect that Nolan was going for, but I think it falls short because the thing about war movies is that war movies are really great in the fact that when you can find a story and the overall craziness of war, one particular story with one particular person or group of people, that's what latches the audience in and brings them into the war, and then they have consequences, and then they have sacrifice, and they feel those moments. Like, and I don't want to bring it up too many times, but in Saving Private Ryan, you felt, because you got to know these characters a little bit more, and you get to be a little bit more intimate with them because the storytelling was a little bit more tighter in the fact that it focused on just that group of people. And so when they were dying off, you felt more of an emotional impact. Like you said, you felt more removed from it, and that's how I felt too, because it felt like at some point I felt like I was watching a documentary. Not that it was bad, it just felt like I didn't know anything about Dunkirk. I'm not British. Mike's not British, so I didn't know anything about Dunkirk.
Whoa.
But
Dancing on Ricky Hatton.
Molnitz. I didn't know, but it was cool to, see it. But, then again, you're just like, God, man, you had Cillian Murphy and Tom Hardy, and you couldn't take those two incredible actors and make something more tied into them. I mean, like I said, you get some moments of personal struggle and sacrifice, especially with the civilian crew that goes over, and the one kid gets blind and he dies. But even then, it was so short-lived. It was so shortly packed into the movie. It just felt like it was kind of thrown together. It didn't feel as much as, because I would have. I'm not Nolan. I'm not. Where the trigger? I'm not Nolan. But if I had been Nolan, what I would have done is maybe focused on the life and what it took to get to that point with the civilian Navy operator, especially the three that go, that they focused a lot on. The one that goes blind and stuff, I would have focused a lot more on them, and then brought them into the world of Dunkirk. Just civilian people that had nothing to do with the war. They were weekend warriors. They were weekend fishermen, and then throw them into the madness and craziness of war through their eyes. I think that would have been a much more crazy, emotional, impactful movie.
Yeah.
So
and you know what? We say all of this with the caveat of I want to direct you back to menswear in aisle 9.
I hate people with no shopping agenda.
I would like for you to see. I revert you back to the point that I started this review by saying that this is maybe the greatest looking war film that has ever graced a screen. So even with all the problems we have with it, man,
it looks amazing.
It's so top heavy in that aspect that I still give the movie an 8 out of 10, and that's just based on just that alone. Like the way that he did the practical effects, the way the film looked, and the way the film sounded from the get go. When that kid's getting shot at when he's trying to take a dump, dude, those bullets. The bullets that were being
I hate when I get shot at when I'm trying to take a poop.
Yeah, they were so loud it scared me. Like the visual effects, the sound, everything was so good, and they did tie it up in a little bit of an emotional bubble at the very end by explaining their story and how they failed, but they still succeeded. That whole, like, where they tried to do that, it pulled me in a little bit. And it's such a good looking film, and it's such well made, and the soundtrack and the score is so good to me that I still give it an 8, even though, like, man, if the story was just a little bit tighter, and you just gave me someone to follow, like you said, just like you got to pick something, like you got to go with you got
to find some angle.
Yeah,
because that's
never did. It could have been the greatest war film of all time, and it just wasn't.
That's what I think. That I'm going to give it an 8 myself. I did enjoy it. I think it visually is stunning. I think it's a really, really cool ass looking movie for sure. And it's got, the music is good to a point. I think they can overuse it sometimes, and I think that Nolan did overuse certain aspects of that music. Yeah, that's part. I was like, look, is that just a countdown to how much time I have to take a shit? I don't know. And yeah, I hate when bullets fly, especially people can relate in Compton. You try to take a shit in the porta potties. Like, bullets be flying. But no, I mean, it does look good. It does look really amazing. I still, honestly though, when I look at that, and it's a 2017 movie, I gotta say, man, like, just the rawness and the craziness of Saving Private Ryan still looks really good on film, on Blu-ray. It just looks really fucking phenomenal, man. Like, even now, because did it suffer because it wasn't rated R? I think it's possible. I think that if you're going to show the horrors of what went on in World War II, you got to go with that graphic violence. You got to go with that graphic fucking way, no holds bars that Steven Spielberg did. Nolan, I don't know if it was like he wanted to get more of a general audience, or the studios were like, no, we just want more people to see it. I don't know what it is. Either way, the biggest downfall of this movie, other than the fact, and it's not a downfall, it looks good, it's a really cool movie, it paces itself well. I didn't get really bored, I just was never emotionally attached. I think the biggest downfall is the fact that you don't find an angle to bring the audience with you on the adventure of the movie. Yeah. And you always got to do that, whether it be a war movie or a horror movie or whatever kind of movie, you got to find a way to get the audience in and go with you and not just feel like they're just watching, a TLC or a History Channel special. But still, man.
Well said, brother.
He still did a good job. He had Cillian Murphy in it and Tom Hardy. And Tom Hardy's always a badass. Like, even when he gets, his fucking plane goes down, he's still like, whatever.
Yeah.
And, but it could have, I think it's mainly, my problem is what it could have been and what it wasn't. So
and when I have to pee so fucking
I have
bad
to
right
pee
now.
really bad too.
My penis really hurts, you guys. So actually,
my head's
when
going
we come
blue.
back, I've actually taken, because I'm on Letterboxd. If you guys have not gone on letterboxd.com, you should totally go on there. Actually, this is literally not an advertisement. They're not paying us for this. No one is. But I actually got on here, and it's so fucking fun because you can tie in every movie you've ever made and write a review for it and make little lists and collections, and it's a really dorky fucking awesome thing to do. And if you're on there, follow me. My name is...
no wonder you did it.
My name is Hey, my name is Mike. On there.
Why don't you just say your name is Mike?
So follow me and I'll follow you, and we'll have a great time and touch each other's wieners and buttholes.
God.
And boobies. Those are my favorites. I actually don't like wieners very much.
You said wieners and boobies.
Except for my own.
You like
mainly
trans.
just boobies. This got weird. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that, go if you guys are not on letterboxd.com, get on there, follow me. Hey, my name is Mike. I'm going to come back. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about this list that I made, and I know Jay's going to fucking vehemently disagree about. I watched a bunch of Christopher Nolan films
I'm
leading
gonna
up to
vomit
this.
in your face.
I watched about, probably 7 Christopher Nolan films leading up to watching Dunkirk.
How do you not feel like you got a split personality right now?
I know. I made my list, and I want to know what you think about it. So we're going to pee.
I got to go now. So we got to go now. Okay, guys. Intermission time. Love you.
Actually, there's no intermission for you because in your time, we'll be back
intermissions
in like 2 seconds.
Bye.
Okay, so we're back.
Now we feel good.
We're back. It feels good.
We had to pee really bad, guys.
Really hurts
you have no
sometimes.
idea. We felt like we were in Dunkirk when we had to pee.
So I want to go through this really quick. All right.
Okay, so this is a Christopher Nolan list. Mike ranked.
I ranked all the Christopher Nolan films.
I'm going to disagree with everything you said.
I'm sure that you will. And so I actually posted this on Instagram. Follow us, by the way, if you're not on Instagram. We put a bunch of shit on there at WeWatchedAMovie. We only have like 600 followers on there. It's weird. Like, I can't get anybody to go there.
Why don't you guys come to Instagram? You guys would love it.
It's fun. I have so much fun putting shit on there. But okay, so let's go. And here we go. We're starting off with a bang.
Are you going like worst to best?
Okay. And starting off with a bang, and that I know a lot of people are going to fucking disagree with me on this, especially you. The worst Christopher Nolan movie at number 10 is Inception.
You fucking dickface.
I think that movie's fucking overrated, confusing, boring as fuck, and it just does not interest me whatsoever at all.
You just described how I feel like when I talk to you sometimes. Inception is very convoluted. I think I just loved Leonardo DiCaprio's performance in that, and the whole idea.
I didn't even like him in that movie, dude.
He
bored the fuck out of me.
I just liked, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and he's like getting ready to be Robin in the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight Rises. But no, I think it was like, I think what it was is like, I like that dreamscape shit that went on with it, and the fact that you didn't know if he was dreaming or awake at the very end of the movie. There was so much intrigue and mystique that was.
I can barely even get through it, dude. The two movies that I disagree with the world the most on are Inception and Avatar. I think they're both shit. I think they're both dog shit, and that's just. I mean, those are everybody. I mean, and don't get me wrong, guys. Like everybody has. We all have a movie that we think is shit that the world loves, and those are my two. Like Inception and fucking Avatar. I cannot finish either movie.
Well, you know
I hate
what?
it so much.
Sometimes, Mike, people just like to watch the world burn.
Number 9, following up behind that is Following, and you and I watched this.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Following.
It was good, but
I like Following, but it definitely has the indie feel to it. That it's not even.
And I like that part of it.
It's not the indie feel that I'm saying that it sucks or not sucks, but it's on a low list. Is because it's the fact that you can tell that it's Nolan trying to get his feet wet. Like he doesn't really still know his stylization yet, and it's just weird. It's fucking weird. Like it's weirder than even Inception is to me because it's like a stalker following this girl. I didn't rewatch this one, so I barely remember it. Yeah, but I mean, are you supposed to be entertained? Like, you're like, I can't wait to take notes.
I liked it. Like I thought it was good. And then this is the thing: Christopher Nolan's filmography, Inception being the worst movie, even though I dislike it, like his filmography is really good. It's not like he has any like clear turds in there.
Yeah, even if you say they're on your list are bad. They're still great.
Like I like certain parts of all of these movies. Like I thought Falling was a decent movie, but it's just this is where it falls on my list. But number 8 is going to be Interstellar. And I like Interstellar.
Yeah, Interstellar to me, I have a love-hate relationship.
But it's got a lot of problems.
I can actually I could go with that because Interstellar is definitely one of those movies. It bends it so fucking heavily with the science fiction. It's like in some way Nolan was trying to like recapture that 2001 Space Odyssey weirdness, and he just there's only one Stanley Kubrick, my friends, and it's hard to do. And when they do the time travel thing, and then you're going to the 6th and 7th and 8th and fucking 15th dimension.
Yeah,
it's
like the bookshelf and
it's like I was like, why are you in a bookshelf? Just
little moments of greatness.
Like what I was thinking is like,
but it just doesn't mix.
If you're so advanced as an alien species that he comes in contact, why can't you just transform back to Earth? Why are you being a dick?
And the timeline's fucked up.
Yeah,
too,
I don't know.
It's one of those, like I enjoyed watching it. I thought it was a fantastic.
Matthew McConaughey was the bomb in it.
Yeah, I thought it was a fascinating movie to watch. But when you go back and you look at it the second time, you're like, man, there's a lot of like plot holes in this shit. Like it's crazy.
Well, Matthew McConaughey, like the performance like he has when he sees his kid grown up, that was fucking badass. But when he's floating in the bookshelf, it's like I felt like I don't know.
It loses its way.
A kid in King Arthur's court.
Yeah. Wow. Number 7, I thought Dunkirk was a little bit better than Interstellar because
it's more real.
Again, we talked about this. It's one of the best looking films of all time. I feel like so. I mean, even though it has no emotional like really hardcore point, it is what it is. Up next, and I actually like we're getting into the movies that I really like a whole fucking lot now.
I'm gonna kill him.
The Prestige.
It is good.
I thought The Prestige was better than Dunkirk and Interstellar.
I think The Prestige is really underrated. I don't know if I would put it it's probably the only Christopher Nolan film you could call underrated. I could put it above Dunkirk, but it'd be hard for me because Dunkirk is visually appealing, but Prestige it's so dark and twisted in its own fucking way, and it's really cool. I mean, you got Hugh Jackman and
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, man, like
Scarlett Johansson.
Oh gosh, she's hot in fucking movies. But just the whole thing about and not just the fact that it was magicians like competing with each other, is the fact that they really got fucking hurt, dude. They went extreme American Ninja.
Yeah. And there was little plot holes in that. Like he was trying to tell such an epic story that sometimes he had to fast track through things. Like Scarlett Johansson's character, when Hugh Jackman sends her away to go spy on him, she just comes back and it's like 2 scenes later, and she's like, "Oh, and by the way, I did fall in love with Christian Bale too." And it was like little things like that, and little things that they had to rush.
Well, he's in love with Rachel.
Rachel. But I still find that movie as a tale of obsession and frenemies and fucking just like
it's egotism. Like it was like a mutual respect between two magicians, but all at the same time, I fucking hate your guts, and I want you to die. Chris Angel and David Copperfield, kind of the same way.
and just the acting in it is so fucking good too, man. Like I said, it's got a lot of problems with it, man, but I find it a fucking entertaining.
Or David Blaine, that motherfucker's possessed by the devil.
I don't believe in magic.
He's scared, dude. He's scary.
I want to say that first off. I do not believe in magic, and I don't even find magicians that interesting. There, I said it.
Why don't you go to see David Blaine, Street Magic, bitch?
I don't even like the Now You've Seen Me movies. I think they suck. But anyways, number 5, right in the damn smack middle of the Christopher Nolan films, I got The Dark Knight Rises.
Like, I don't know. Like, I remember when we first saw The Dark Knight Rises. Like, we had a fight on the way home in the car about that because The Dark Knight Rises, I think it's good. I think it's a solid ending to the Nolan trilogy, but at the same time, I think that when he went full on fucking Robin and that whole fucking thing, like it lost me in that. I just didn't like that. If you're gonna kill Batman off, like kill fucking Batman off. Like tell your story and kill Batman off.
I'm glad he didn't kill Batman.
I didn't want him to, but it felt like that's what he wanted to do anyway. Like it almost felt like, I'm not saying it happened. I'm not saying it's not Nolan. I'm not saying it's not Nolan's vision, but the whole idea behind Batman retiring and surviving that explosion, it just felt like that was studio pressures. Like, you cannot do this. Like, you're not gonna kill Batman off. Because I think that if it had been up to Nolan, I think that here's the thing, because Nolan's into that fucking weird, like, am I dreaming? Am I awake? Are there L's behind my bed? I don't know. He would have been like this. The whole thing with Alfred seeing Bruce Wayne in Paris at the end of the movie would have been more of a dream for Alfred, and he was actually dead.
I think just sometimes Christopher Nolan's like eyes exceed his. God damn, that ice maker scares me.
I don't like it. Time. Every time Sub-Zero's going to jump out, it's like Sub-Zero.
I think sometimes his eyes just exceed his grasp. Sometimes he wants to make something so epic and deep, and he just runs out of time. And I think there's little things about The Dark Knight Rises that, and first off, dude, this, I think more than any other movie, maybe in history, this movie was so hotly anticipated. Like, everybody had the exact thing they wanted.
Yeah.
After The Dark Knight, maybe the best superhero movie of all time in many people's
It's hard
eyes.
to follow that up, yeah.
Like, everybody expected so much out of this because you brought in Bane, and Catwoman was unnecessary.
Anne Hathaway, yeah.
Yeah, it was just one of those movies where, like, I think his vision was good, and I think he did amazing things with that film, and I love that movie. But at the same time, it does kind of feel like there's a couple times where he just kind of lost his fucking way. He got lost in that Shining maze.
I'll tell you one part, and he was like frozen with like boogers coming out of his face, frozen like Jack Nicholson at the end of it. But no, that's probably what he looked like at the end of the production of the Dark Knight trilogy. He just looked like Jack Nicholson in the maze of The Shining with like a fucking axe frozen with like boogers coming out of his nose.
Yeah, dude, imagine
if
Batman Begins and Dark Knight didn't exist. Imagine how heralded that movie would be.
Oh, I know. Well, here's my thing. I think the best parts of that were Bane, and more of a not discovery, but more of an investigation into Bruce Wayne Batman's like coming out of his shell, coming back from what he did, what happened in Dark Knight.
Yeah.
I think those were cool. I think the whole thing with Talia al Ghul was. You said Catwoman unnecessary. I think Talia al Ghul's story was unnecessary. I think that was just thrown in for whatever reason, because people and fans maybe wanted it and they needed something to tie around it with Ra's al Ghul. But nonetheless, man, it was still a cool, solid movie, and I fucking love it. Yeah,
like I said, dude, if I go back, if The Dark Knight and Batman Begins did not exist, imagine how amazing we would all feel. Just imagine how people would feel about The Dark Knight Rises.
Well, what I think is that
and he did all three of those.
I think that Nolan just gave it back to the people.
That's one of the greatest film trilogies in history.
Mm-hmm.
So, above Dark Knight Rises, and this might come in late for some people, but number 4 for me of the Christopher Nolan filmography is Memento.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Number 4, that's high up there, but Memento is a great film. It's one of those movies that you would watch back during that time, and you would just go, "Wow, that's fucking different and edgy and dark." It felt like Seven in a certain weird way. Guy Pearce.
I do remember that. That's
where dark and twisted.
That's where I first was introduced to Guy Pearce. I think through that movie, and he was badass. Like the way that he carried that movie through,
talk about confusing and convoluted.
With the pictures and notes that to himself,
tattoos.
It was amazing. Like that was just a really cool. Like you imagine as a director shooting those scenes and also writing that out, like how you fucking would do that,
like a mad scientist with crazy hair in the basement.
Your shit would look like goddamn. You would look like Doc Brown at the end of it.
I could not imagine having to make that fucking movie, and it's a great fucking movie. Now we're getting. I mean, these are the great
top 4.
The top 4, man, are just amazing.
Top 4. Are we at 4?
Christopher Nolan is fucking. Like, a lot of people think he's overrated since The Dark Knight, but I mean, when you look at his filmography, dude, it's like, Jesus Christ. But all of his movies almost have that same little problem. They all are kind of, like, narratively, they all kind of just get a little bit crazy at times.
Yeah.
But number 3, for me, this is going to be high on a lot of people's list, but I put Insomnia. Al Pacino, Robin Williams.
Oh, dude, Insomnia. Dude, that was the first time Robin Williams shined as something that... Well, not the first time, but that was one of the times that Robin Williams shined as something that, he's always been, like, a comedic guy, and then having him in that movie with Robert De Niro, like, really fucking, like,
it's a smaller role than you think, but... That and 1 Hour Photo.
1 Hour Photo was the best one for him, but it definitely solidified, like, the range that Robin Williams had, and you obviously throw Robert De Niro. You've got the fucking winner. You
said De Niro.
I said it twice.
I understand how you get, but yeah.
Anyway, they both were in Godfather, but Al Pacino, Al Pacino, great.
And
I liked it.
Yeah, and what was it, True Kill or Killer? They were in a movie with 50 Cent together too.
That's why I
Righteous Kill. That's what it was called.
Righteous Kill.
But yeah,
I have that on the Criterion Collection.
I got the HBO Go thing so that we could watch Game of Thrones, and Insomnia is on there. You should watch it again, dude. It's a fucking great rewatch. And Jennifer Garner's in that movie too. That movie, it was crazy for me watching that because it was like it felt like a '90s James Patterson film,
it's been a while
with the artistic edge of Christopher Nolan. And they're in this town in Alaska where like it's daylight all the time. And if you've ever worked third shift, you know exactly what Al Pacino's going through in that movie, where he can't sleep, he's going fucking crazy. Like I love fucking that movie so much. I think it's so underrated.
Fucking that movie?
I love fucking that movie. And again, it's another one of those movies that you could rarely say this about a Christopher Nolan movie, but I feel like Insomnia is the kind of movie that to me should have like a Donnie Darko style cult following, and it doesn't. I just feel like it's underrated in that aspect, and I feel like Al Pacino is so good in that movie.
Well,
and
see,
Robin
that's where
Williams is so good, and it's so dark and twisted and fucked up, but it also had this like almost poppy James Patterson like crime feel to it, to where it never really got to that cult level it needed to be at. So I feel like it's underrated in some way.
I would have felt like that 1 hour photo would have been more Donnie Darko than Insomnia.
I don't remember it that much
because Insomnia is more. I mean, it's production. Like the production value on Insomnia was way more than Donnie Darko. But either way,
it still had holes in it. You know?
Yeah.
But and that was one of his earlier films too. So number 2, that the last two should be pretty obvious. Number 2 is going to be Batman Begins for me. And
I love Batman Begins.
Dude, fucking Christopher Nolan, man. Like the last thing we had in our mouths was Batman and Robin, and then I remember sitting in a movie theater. This is back in the times when there wasn't like the pre-release to the pre-trailer, pre-party trailer party is going to be on Thursday.
I hate those pre-party trailers.
You had no fucking idea.
The Purple Party?
Sitting in our shitty Movies 9 local theater, getting ready to watch, I don't know what it was, some Adam Sandler movie or something probably, and all of a sudden, fucking bats come on screen, and it's the Batman Begins trailer.
See, I didn't even know it was Batman when I first saw the trailer.
I didn't either until the end of it. And I was like, oh my god, they're making another fucking Batman.
What's happened? I was like, I was thinking like, well, because it was so different, and it was so dark, and it was so out there from what, from left field, from what Joel Schumacher with the Nipple Boys had done to us, and
chicks dig the car.
I didn't know this is why Superman works alone. I didn't know that they were even in the process, because like Mike and I weren't doing YouTube, we weren't doing internet looking up trailers or news articles or anything like that. So I had no idea there was a Batman's in the work. And when you see that on film, when you see that like in a trailer, when you're going to see one movie and you're like, oh, that's all you could fucking talk about. Like when you left the theater, that's all. You don't even give a fuck about the movie you just watched.
Yeah.
I mean, you could watch like the greatest movie of all time. You're like, so anyway, the movie was good, but did you see the Batman trailer? Like that's what it was like. It was so good, man.
And he delivered, man. The critics gave it a fair score. Like everybody loved it.
And to this day, I still think that suit looks the best out of the whole trilogy. Like I still think it looks the best, because when they start fucking with his helmet, it made it look worse and worse.
And he was probably scarier in that movie than he was in the other one. Like in The Dark Knight, as great as it was, he kind of went a little bit crazy with his bat voice and stuff. Yeah. And in Batman Begins, dude, when he's like, "I'm counting on it," and I don't think he said that.
I don't know what he said.
No, maybe he's like when he's like the fall from this level will break my legs or whatever. Maybe he did say it. I don't know. But when you got the first, that was with Eric Roberts.
Oh
so that
yeah,
was the second one.
I was like, it's not what I do that defines me.
Yeah, all that shit. Like, but
I like that when he's like,
he was scarier in Batman Begins, especially when he got on the Scarecrow's medicine, because you got Cillian Murphy in that too.
Oh yeah,
when
visuals on that was
when you had him bleeding that black shit out of his mouth, dude. Batman Begins is like
it was badass. Like even the fact that he showed Batman being fallible, because it wasn't just the fact that he got on Scarecrow's gas when he was like getting caught on fire, and he's like Alfred, and he's like calling for Alfred, and he's like falling out the window, and he doesn't know what to do, and he's disoriented. Yeah. Like it's like Batman's fallible. Batman can be beat if Scarecrow outsmarted him, and that was cool to see that human element of Batman at that same time.
And the little things, like how he got his bat wings, like where how Michael Caine had to order like thousands of them so that it wasn't suspicious, and then Lucius Fox and all that shit.
And then having like he gave that little fucking gadget to Joffrey and everything else. But dude, that movie,
the prison scenes.
You're
not the devil. You practice.
Yeah, it's so, dude. That movie was so good.
Like in the news,
and the way that they fucking showed him going overseas to learn his kung fu, and then finding Ra's al Ghul.
Death does not wait.
And perfecting it. You got to get the blue rose and find a way to life. Dude, he just did
suffering and injustice.
If there could not have been a better person to bring Batman out of that nipple town than Christopher Nolan for Batman Begins.
Change things. And to be for that to be said, we go into the obvious number one, and we don't have to spend a lot of time talking about this because we got to move on or whatever. But the number one is The Dark Knight. Yeah. I mean, it is the fucking godfather of superhero movies. Now, we talked about this a while back with Logan.
Logan to me is still
Logan for us topped it, and at the same time, maybe people were a little bit right for me, because when I look back, I have a lot of problems with The Dark Knight. With I thought the Aaron Eckhart villain was too much. I thought the ending was a little bit messed up or whatever. But
I still like
Aaron
Eckhart.
Movie. What I always think of when I think of The Dark Knight is the Joker hanging his head out the car like a fucking rabid dog, and then Hans Zimmer doing that weird score when he's just like basically like fucking fingering a violin, and it's just like.
I hate when that happened in band practice. You've been drinking
Dude,
again.
It was the Godfather of superhero movies.
Yeah,
and it's
well,
one of the best of all time.
I think that when I don't know what it is, but when Heath Ledger showed up, not at the beginning of the movie, but when he like shows up with the criminal syndicate, they're all hanging out, and he was like, "You want to see a magic trick?" And he like bashes that guy in his.
The whole theater was just fucking.
Yeah, it was, dude. Every time he was on fucking screen, the theater was silent. Like every time, they would like hang on every word that Ledger delivered because it was done so perfectly and so well. And then Ledger took that role and ran with it. It wasn't just the fact that it was a great direction by Nolan. It wasn't just the fact that it was a great setting and script. Ledger himself made that character come alive off the page. That's not been done by very few actors that can actually do that, and he was able to do that. Yeah. So basically what I have to say is, hi. You know how I got these scars? So, great. I mean, I would put Dark Knight, as far as what Nolan's legacy, Dark Knight has got to be number one.
So you only really disagree with me on Inception.
Yeah. So it's weird though. I wonder how Nolan would feel about that though, if you were like ranking his movies and putting a superhero movie like, and I said that in quotations, because even now they fucking, you know what? The Academy Awards are pieces of shit. They only gave that award to Heath Ledger after he died. I mean, I don't even think they would have, if he had survived and he hadn't died, I don't think they would.
He deserved it.
Yeah, he did deserve it, but they never would have given it to him if he hadn't died.
The way that they are, and it should have been Best Picture.
Yeah, it should have been Best Picture and Best Director and Best, like, everything. I mean, it was fucking amazing. So,
So
anyway.
that's that part of it. So the last thing that we have to talk about, guys, is what the fuck we watched this week.
I watched so many good movies.
My personal favorite part of the podcast.
I watched, so the first thing I watched was Your Mom.
Oh, yeah.
I've had binoculars on her for a long time.
Oh, yeah. Cup of coffee in the morning.
I do that. I break into her room and be like, oh, yeah. So I watched This Boy's Life with Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio.
You love that movie, man.
I know.
You watched that like a lot.
I love it. Well, I didn't know it was on HBO. So, or HBO Now or whatever. So I saw it, I was like, oh my God, I gotta watch it again. It's one of those movies, I don't know what it is. I guess it's just that it's really like powerful. Like it's done so well, and it's done in a way that's
Dunkirk.
It's Dunkirk good. It's creepy. Like visually, it's creepy because you got Leonardo DiCaprio that his mother is just trying to start over with him, and he's like going through changes of a teenager, and then you've got like Robert De Niro plays that part so fucking well. This asshole that the stepdad that comes into his life that beats the shit out of him, that makes him try to be a man and spends his money that he has on a paper route, and like it's just a lot of domestic problems that I don't know what I liked it about. Like it makes you feel queasy and nasty, but you're like, God damn, Robert De Niro, why the fuck are you so good? I don't know whose dick did you suck?
Let me tell you something. I've only seen like maybe 30 minutes of this movie, but the only thing I know about it is from hearing you talk about it and the part where he's like, liar, whore, liar, whore.
He does. He says that all the time.
Quote it all the
time. He goes liar, whore, and then he's like, because I know a thing or two about a thing or two. It's like, oh, you'll remember me. Because really what it points out is the fact that Dwight, which is Robert De Niro's character, is a jealous piece of shit scumbag that hates that anybody that can do better than him in life. And he despises Leonardo DiCaprio's character like 1,000%. And when he starts applying to college schools, he throws away his fucking application papers that he gets returned to him because he doesn't want him to. He's like, I'm just saving him the trouble because he'll never get in. Like, he's such a bully, and it's done so well. Like, I don't know. It's a really, really good performances by DiCaprio and De Niro.
I like how much you like it.
It's really good. And then I watched. Yeah, it is.
A bit.
What?
We're best friends.
So you could say weird shit. I liked when you were in those panties that one day. But also, let's see. I watched Three Ninjas. Great fucking movie. By the way, I just want to say about Three Ninjas. Like, I know you guys remember the Three Ninjas. Rocky loves Emily. Rocky loves Emily. That movie. But the three bad guys in that movie were fucking perfect, dude. Like, they're so good, and it just gets better with age. It's like wine. When you watch them again, and they're doing that Valley Girl kind of like accent.
Keep on cruising.
And he was like, yeah, they're kind of doing the Pauly Shore thing, and they're robbing a gas station in the middle of the night one time, and he was like, he's like, get those like gnarly like little like cream cakes, and he's like, dude, and then he was like, and then the main guy's talking to the cashier, and he's like, and as for you, my good man, he was like, put the money in the register, or put the money in the sack, it's stick up, and then he gets like a beeper, and then he's like, excuse me, my good sir, It's like, but do you have a phone that I could use?
My favorite part of that movie is when they try to rob the kids and they make all the Home Alone traps to stop them.
And then he's like, because we gotta kill these little boogers. And he's like, but we're supposed to take them alive. He's like, I'm worried about us, dude. And when they put the laxatives in their drinks, and he was, that little kid Tum Tum runs in there. He's like, this drink is so good. And that one robber's like, give me that. And they start drinking it. He's like, dude, Fester, I gotta take a dump, big time. It's like, dude, it's so cool. And then they're like, hey man, what time does school end? I was like, I don't know. I never stayed till the end. He's like, dude, it's really funny ass fucking.
Let me
movie.
ask you this though: if you had a one island movie for the rest of
your
life,
I was just gonna say the main guy,
ninjas?
The grandfather, was Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, but no, let me ask you this though: one movie, you got to pick one. You got to kill one.
All right,
and fuck one.
All right, tell me which
don't
one.
Fuck. There's kids in it. You don't want to fuck either one. Right? Keep one or kill one. Surf Ninjas or Three Ninjas.
Difference. I don't know, man. I don't know because I actually watched Surf Ninjas right after I watched Three Ninjas.
You always do. I always do.
Fuck. I got to go with Three Ninjas, man.
I think I would too.
I think because it's just funnier. I love Leslie Nielsen in Surf Ninjas, and so we'll just transition to that. I watched Surf Ninjas right after that. I love that. But Three Ninjas just had more character to me because they had so much more going on, and it felt like. But Surf Ninjas is badass too. You got Rob Schneider early on in Rob Schneider's career, and
not to be denied.
I don't know what it's so corny and so stupid, and it makes no sense, but it's so fun.
Yeah,
and you have Satch, the one-eyed patch guy that's trying to get the princes, and you have Rob Schneider. It's like, this is crazy. It's like I said earlier.
Was that Tone Loc?
Yeah, Tone Loc is in it. He's like, brothers don't serve. But you have Rob Schneider's like, this is crazy. I said, what if I was a prince and my father was a king? He's like, not you, them. He's like, dude, it's.
I think that the best trifecta ever would be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 2: Secret of the Ooze, Three Ninjas, and Surf Ninjas. Can you disagree?
No, I would love that. That would be the greatest thing of all time.
That's a great three-peat right there.
But Surf Ninjas is like chick with a veil, dude, better bells. Like he's like, you know what they say, chick covers her face, better pick up the pace. And then Rob Schneider's like, he's like exactly. He's like, when a girl covers her face, she's probably not very attractive. But it was such a corny movie. It was so good. Like I don't know. Naksu Cow, dudes.
Naksu Cow.
Not Naksu Cow. Quan Su, dudes. Quan Su. And I don't know, man. And Leslie Nielsen was in it, and he was like, there was part where he was like, it almost got wet. He's talking about it as a mechanical. And then that one kid that could see the visions through his Game Gear. He's like, I thought I was playing Shinobi. What happened to Shinobi?
I like when she asked the kid, she's like, where is China on the map? He's like,
no, Spain.
Or Spain. He's like, it's here.
And then that one kid's like, and he's like, some people, he's like, but of course they were wrong too. Some people have argued that Spain was here.
But some people have the belief that it was here.
I don't know why I liked it the most is when when the main character, I can't remember his name.
Donnie Yen?
No, Ernie Reyes Jr. Ernie Reyes.
Yeah,
you know what's weird? Ernie Reyes Jr. and Sr. So the old man Satch was his dad or some shit. When Ernie Reyes Jr. shows up and he was like, I am so completely dead, and he was like, I have to present this whole presentation for the Babarana for everything, and he was like, he did this the Babarana. That was so great. I don't know. And then there were moments even when they were being serious. I just thought it was funny when he's like, Mac is inconsequential. It's like, hey, our dad is not inconsequential. Your whole story, your whole rebellion, that is inconsequential. And they did moto surf. I don't that was before me, so I don't know what that was. And so they took paddles out and they paddled.
Yeah.
But anyway,
basically ghost riding back.
Yeah, it was so cool, man. That movie is so nostalgic. The fuck to me. That and Three Ninjas, it was good. So I watched those three movies for sure. And what did you watch?
It's an awesome collection, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have a collection that would equal your bodaciousness.
It won't, but I'll let you talk.
No, speaking of the HBO Go thing, we both got HBO. I think it's HBO Live.
HBO Now.
Yeah, HBO Now.
Now.
Oh,
Oh, good.
Around everything, Santa time.
Oh.
The marbles dropped. But no, I went through. They have a lot of fucking Steven Seagal movies on there, man. I've been watching some.
I
Steven
saw that
Seagal
shit. You know the fact that we share, your watch list. I see everything you see.
I saw that you were watching This Boy's Life and then The Color of Money. I saw that you watched that.
Color of Money was good. I watched that too.
But I watched that, and I kind of hoped. I was like, maybe JC's that I'm watching the Steven Seagal movies. He'll watch the Steven Seagal movies too.
We've already reviewed them, so we can't.
We never reviewed the Steven Seagal.
Yeah, we did.
No, we did, and we never released them.
Oh yeah,
I think they got lost on my broken
ate
computer.
them.
Yeah. So at some point we need to have a Steven Seagal Van Damme week. But anyways, so I'm a few movies in. I started with the earliest movie available in HBO now. Actually, Alpha Justice was the second one. The first one was
In for the Kill. Too Late to Kill.
Two in the box, ready to go. We'd be fast and they'd be slow. No, it was Hard to Kill. Hard to Kill.
That's not. Is that earlier? That can't be earlier.
Hard to Kill was before Out for Justice.
Well, what's the one with Nico?
1990. Nico was his first one. That was Above the Law. That was his first movie ever. That's not on there. But the first one was Fuck, We're Knowledgeable. The first one was This useless knowledge will take me far in life, I thought. But no, the 1990 was Hard to Kill. And this is the one where his name was Mason Storm.
And he had the big beard when he woke up from the coma.
Yeah.
When he was fucking that girl, and she was like, oh yeah.
It's got Will Sadler in it. It's got Will Sadler in it as the bad guy. And he goes, and you could tell that he thought this was going to be like a big movie because they kept mentioning the Oscars. He's like, man, I wish I was at home watching the Oscars right now, but I got to be tracking these bad guys. And he catches Will Sadler, who's the bad guy, who's like, and you can take that to the bank. He's the politician, and he catches him, and basically they know that Mason Storm has this tape, so they go to his house where his kid. He's like, he shows up and his kid's there, and he's like, son, let me leave you with prayers. And he does this little thing like, now I lay me down to sleep. He does that little thing with his son, and then his wife's there, and his wife is like this hot blonde chick, and she's got these 80s like granny panties on, and he squeezes her butt.
That's all right, though.
You could tell that the actress had to be awkward out because Steven Seagal was just like, I'm Steven Seagal, I'm gonna squeeze your butt. And he squeezed her butt way too much.
Don't move your hands too much.
There's this badass scene where he goes to the liquor store to buy her champagne, and these dudes come in and they hold up the liquor store, and he fucking beats the shit out of him and kills him. He's like, fuck you and die. He kills the guy. It's fucking awesome. So he tears through those guys, and then like it's like a span of 5 minutes, all this stuff happens, and he's back at home, and he's having sex with his wife, and then the bad guys show up, and
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, Steven Seagal being the fucking ultimate badass that he is, he takes a literal shotgun to the chest, and he doesn't even fall down because you know Steven Seagal, like you found out in later years, he was an egotistical asshole.
Yeah,
but you know on set he was like, I don't go down.
No, yeah, but when he took that shot, I remember that when he took that shot, he just looked mildly annoyed, like a fucking ant bit him.
Yeah, they shot him, and then they shot his wife, and he's like, no, and then they shot him again, and it actually threw him against the dresser.
The second time, but the first time he was like, I just got bit by a fire ant, and then he looked over at his wife, and when she got shot, he's like, that can't be good. But it was like he didn't like, God, dude, like I love Steven Seagal and I love the early Steven Seagal movies, but it's so fucking like you could tell that he told
gets hit, dude.
No, he told every writer, I don't care if they have a fucking bazooka point blank, I don't die.
I watched 2 of these movies back to back, dude, and there was only one single moment when he got hit, and I'll get to that. Well, other than when he got shot, but he's in a coma, and of course the fucking sexiest nurse in history is taking care of him, and all of a sudden they're like, you remember his partner? He looks like Mad Dog McCoy. He looks like a poor man's Arnold.
Oh yeah, the one who's like,
don't you ever talk a bad word about Storm McCoy?
They used to not sell drugs in this neighborhood.
Yeah, like he looked like just I don't know. But at one point, and he looks
like John McClane's dad.
Yeah, he looks like John Cena. No, he looks like John Boner, the Republican dude from Forever Ago with like the super tan.
Yeah.
But at one point, and this is again, follow us on Instagram because I actually, while I was watching this, I filmed this on my TV and put it on there. It's funny as fuck.
You're gonna get sued.
I know. It's funny as fuck because Steven Seagal's walking around and he's like, "There's sons of bitches. There's nothing we can do." And he's like, "I'm gonna get them." Every last one of them. And they're just standing in a fucking park, and all of a sudden Steven Seagal pulls out his gun and starts shooting flower pots, and he goes, every fucking one of them. He puts his gun back.
That's the best part about being Steven Seagal, that you can do that.
Disrespect your surroundings.
Fuck the police.
It was fucking badass. But ultimately he comes back. He has sex with this, like the best part of this movie though is that he gets this huge beard. This hot ass nurse takes him to her dojo because she just
everybody has a dojo.
Yeah, she's house sitting for a guy with a fucking dojo, and he's like, "I need you to go get me this." He never even says thank you. He's like, "Go get me the shit from the fucking store, bitch." She goes and he does the needle therapy where he pokes himself with all the needles,
acupuncture,
and the fire, and it's like this crazy fucking scene. And then I did this exercise when I was a kid. Actually, he takes a 2x4.
Acupuncture?
No, he takes the 2x4 and he digs a hole in the ground, and that badass music's playing. He puts the hole in the ground and he just stands outside and he punches the 2x4.
You did
and
that?
And he thinks about his son and he thinks about his wife and he punches it. And then as the movie collage gets further, he finally breaks it. And then she's just walking by with groceries and she sees him and she's like,
Yeah, he did that on purpose. He timed it just right. He's like, I knew that she was coming home with my Kroger
like,
purchases.
Oh, Mason Stone.
No, he's like, I knew that she was coming home with my Kroger purchases. And wait till she sees, and I broke that boy. And then he looks at her. Yeah,
it's awkward though.
The
dude.
fact that you did that as a kid, that is one pathetic.
I put it out in front of my neighborhood and did it. People thought I was weird, but he's just in it. And one day he's just working out in the dojo, and she just shows up in this fucking hot dress, and she's like, "I brought you a flower."
Do you know who that was? That girl?
She's a porn star.
No, I think that she was.
I think she was a porn star.
No, dude, I think she was in Weird Science.
Maybe she was.
I'm pretty sure. I think it was.
It's possible.
Let's look it up.
Okay, you do that. You get your nuggets. I'll get mine.
Don't you worry
about how.
Sometimes baby's got to be hurt.
But yeah, so she comes in and they have the sex on the dojo, and then immediately he wakes up and he starts having flashbacks to his wife and he gets pissed, and then he goes and kills a bunch of people. So that's that movie. That's a fucking great Steven Seagal movie. But then I didn't realize how much of a great movie this fucking was. Right?
It's Kelly the Rock. It was the chick from Weird Science.
Okay, good.
No wonder I thought she was hot.
Good. And then at the end of it, I was always disappointed at the end of that movie because when he finally finds Will Sadler's character, he's just such a bitch. Like, Steven Seagal just beats him up and throws him around or whatever, and shit happens. But still a great movie. Just that was one of the greatest like comeback from death movies of all time.
It definitely made you feel like you could beat the world up and then decide and realize that you can't because you don't have a black belt.
All it needed was one like Rocky IV training montage, and it could have been the greatest film that has ever graced our faces. But that's hard to kill. And then you go to 1991 and you go to Out for Justice. And that's the second movie I watched, and this one is fucking hilarious, dude. When you turn it, I never realized how fucking bad good this movie was until I watched it the other night.
There's nothing bad.
And I've seen it 100 times.
It's all good.
But dude, it was Steven Seagal basically Steven Seagal went to some people in Hollywood with money and was like, look, I want to play a guy who's in the Goodfellas, but I still have to be a cop. Because I
never,
he's
brother,
an Italian who's also a cop.
I was never, I liked Out for Justice and I liked Above the Law. I thought those both were good movies. But
his name was Gino this time.
Not Above the Law. What was the...
He was Nico.
It was Above the Law. Okay, so, those movies were cool. I thought they were good, but I never liked them as much as you guys did, like my brother and Mike. I liked Marked for Death.
Marked for Death's great.
That was the one that I fucking loved the best. Yeah. Marked for Death. And then the Glimmer Man.
The Glimmer Man's one of the best, dude. The Glimmer Man actually almost touches actual good movie territory.
I know.
It's actually almost...
Well, I don't know, because the one with DMX was really good. Exit Wounds.
Yeah. Yes. Are you sure that you're not thinking about Ja Rule, Half Past Dead? No, but the Glimmer Man actually was maybe his best movie. Well, no, Under Siege was his
Under
best
Siege
movie,
was the best one, yeah.
But no, so we're talking about Out for Justice. Now, this one, he wears a sleeveless fucking And One tank top and a beret.
Before And One was
he borrowed it off Jean-Claude in Street Fighter. Dude, he looks so ridiculous and fucking stupid in this movie. But this movie is... Will Forsythe is the bad guy. He's a crazy guy who's just out in the town fucking killing people, murdering people left and right. But Steven Seagal is full... Dude, he balls out, goes Italian. He's like, you know, me and my fucking brother, we were talking... dude, he's hardcore.
And
it's embarrassing.
He sells it.
At some points, it's actually good.
I think
I'm not going to lie. At some point, it actually fucking works. But there's certain points where you're like, oh, this is so embarrassing. I want to hide my head in shame.
I didn't hate it. I love the action parts of it. That was... I thought the story sucked, but I thought the action parts of it was
There's one
fucking
scene,
great.
dude, when he goes into the bar and he decides that... Because he's like... Anybody know who Bucho is? Or whatever. Richie. He's like, has anybody seen Richie? And he's the dude who killed Bobby the cop, and he just starts fucking with people in the bar, dude. He shoves that dude into the phone booth twice.
See, in those days, I would have given up any information to Steven Seagal if he walked in there with his little fucking beret cap with a fucking star that he bought at Walmart that's plastic and was like, where's Richie? I was like, I don't know Richie, but I'll tell you. He's like, tell me, Richie, where is he? Where's Richie? I'm like, I'm gonna tell you, I swear to God, please stop. I'll get you a fucking Frosty.
Dude, basically the actors on set were exactly who they were in real life, because basically everybody in that movie hated his fucking guts and saw how cheesy he was being, was too scared to say anything.
No, because
he just walked through fucking people up.
He fucking cowed them before that fucking film even started. He walked in set before they even started. He's like, do you know who I am? I am Steven Seagal. You fucking do what I said.
We're going to be closed for 2-3 weeks for renovations. Hello, Lentos.
Renovation 2 weeks. Yeah. Thanks.
But dude,
So,
it was corny, and you could tell that he was being like just the biggest ego you've ever seen in your fucking life.
I think that's every Steven Seagal movie. Though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And going back now and looking at it, you realize that, but they're still fun.
I don't ever want to say that.
As a kid, you looked up to him though. Now I look up to his fighting prowess because
I still kind of like him.
God,
so
dude, no one would ever beat him in a thumb war. But
Ever.
the thing is, dude, is that because he's a counterpuncher, like you can't come at him.
First off, I would
At all.
yeah, he's an egotistical asshole, and there's a possibility that he did shit his pants when that guy choked him out, and maybe he lied about a lot of things, and he was really scared of Jean-Claude Van Damme and not wanting to fight him because Jean-Claude might fuck him up, which it's possible.
But he's still Steven fucking Seagal.
But it's Steven fucking Seagal. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would still want to hang out with him because I think that would feel safe in his arms.
And this is
like
the
I
day
could go
that
out to a bar with him and be like, you know what? I could start any fight, and I know you're gonna back me up. And if I'd be like, this motherfucker just said you had an ugly ponytail, I was like, what did he say? It was like, you're in some deep shit now.
Well, there's a difference between guys with an ugly ponytail and guys who are dead.
Then he would be like, I'd be like, hey, Steven, he just slapped me in the face. Like, what are you going to do about it? It's like, I don't know. I thought you'd help me.
He's such an asshole in the movie, but he's such a badass. You can't help but be enamored by him, dude. And he just beats the fuck out of everybody. His whole way through this movie, he's just unstoppable. But he does get hit. In this movie, there's 1 second.
Well, I mean,
he gets shot.
Hits quotations.
He gets shot, and then there's one scene, and I was actually shocked as shit to see it because my wife was just coming around the corner. I was like, "You got to watch this batshit stuff. It's the best part of my youth." But this dude comes out from behind the corner, and he's standing up, beating up everyone in the fucking bar.
Yeah.
And this dude does hit him in the shin.
That's kind of like what I do.
Like in the back, in the calf. Dude hits him in the calf with a pool stick.
Yeah.
And then there's a really racist moment where the one Asian guy breaks the pool stick in half, and they do karate for like 8 minutes. But he actually gets hit for a second, and I honestly,
I don't know if it's racist. I mean,
I say that loosely, but back in the day, every time an Asian showed up, he broke something in half and did 8 minutes of dancing with it before he actually fought the good guy. I mean, that's just something that happened.
They just do
That's
karate.
racist.
They just do karate.
It's profiling.
No, not all Asians know.
It's like walking up to an Asian at McDonald's and be like, "Hey, do you know karate?"
I would ask them. I'm not being racist. I would just want to know. So, like,
yeah,
if you walked up to me, I'm a white person. You were Asian. Like, do you know like how to do Beethoven? I'm like, I wish I did. Like, I wouldn't be offended.
Somehow that ended up more racist than it began.
It's not really racist at all.
I know.
The perfect weapon.
But it
That
was.
one Asian guy didn't know karate at all.
That was the joke.
Kim didn't know karate.
Of course, his name was Kim.
He was fucking Asia.
You disgust me.
He's from China.
Anyways, like I'm 2 movies into my Steven Seagal marathon, and I can't fucking wait to finish it. It's a great time in life, and if you guys have never gone back and witnessed the greatness that was the ego of Steven Seagal back in the day, you really got to go check it out. It's unlike anything you'll ever see.
I feel like you're hating on it.
I'm not hating on it. I realize what it is, and I love it. I love every fucking ounce.
It makes you want to go to the gym and work out harder, doesn't it?
These are my favorite movies of all time. No, because I know I can never reach that expert level.
Well, he was never ripped.
No, he never was, dude. Never,
he had just had a normal body. Even Alfred Justice, like when he walked and shit, you're like, yeah.
But Steven Seagal did what he wanted to do. If he was like, he was just like, I want to be an Italian, and they were like, all right.
You know what? At some point, you gotta admire such the egotistical piece of shit that he actually was in real life.
It was special.
Like, it was special. It was a real thing because like it wasn't okay. When you watch those movies and you see how he was on the film. He was like that in real life. He would literally walk. He would walk through a drive-through, not drive-through one. He would walk through and was like, give me my burgers. And you would just give it to him. Because he will slap the fuck out of you for your chicken
nuggets. That
nuggets.
a lot, too.
Like, I bet he could do it. Like, he could just literally walk through Taco Bell and be like, you gotta drive around. I was like, I don't have to do anything.
You try him down. You knock him down. Why don't you try knocking me down?
he could just stare at you. He could put his little hands together like he's praying and just stare at you like, where are my burritos?
At some point, dude, we gotta watch these movies together and like do like either a podcast where we like commentate on them,
or we could live watch them. That would be the best.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's exactly what that means. You stupid bitch. Or at least review them. But yeah, Steven Seagal is a huge part of our youth. Huge part.
And it's always going to come down. It's always going to come down to be. It's going to always come down to Van Damme or Seagal.
Yeah.
And it's hard, man, because Van Damme is more real.
Van Damme had the better movies.
He did have the better movies, but Van Damme versus Seagal, like in a real life street fight,
I don't know.
I don't know if you're saying like now Van Damme fuck him up. Back then, I don't know. There was a lot of speculation.
Just throw a jelly donut
there was
in the corner
there was a lot of speculation
when he bent over to pick it up.
He's like, we're closed for repairs for 2 weeks.
I don't want to fight you.
I want to fight you now. But no, it's always going to come down to that. Whether or not it be like fighting or just movies versus movies, overall, I always pick Van Damme as far as the better movies and the better acting, I suppose. Even though I fucking love Seagal, man. Like, Seagal, he just had his own style that nobody else had. And that was what was so cool about Seagal. Because when you went and seen a Steven Seagal fucking movie in 1990 or 91, and you knew a Steven Seagal movie was coming out, you saw a trailer for it, like, Steven Seagal, hard to kill, whatever it was, you were like, I know what I'm in for. I'm fucking there. I'm going to eat a fucking prime rib raw after I watch it. Like, you just knew. Yeah. You know, if you had a Van Damme movie, it was like, I'm going to go have some chicken and then have some sex with this girl later. Yeah. But if you're going to go watch a Seagal movie, prime rib raw, and then just...
Now, if you watch a Van Damme movie, you're like, I hope I cry. I hope I cry and I go home and I want to be a better man. You watch a Seagal movie, you're right. You're going to rip through some steak, take some shots of whiskey. And say,
I'm going to go to Texas Roadhouse. I'm going to throw them fucking peanuts down with the
Like, Van Damme always had that emotional arc. And Stallone did too. Like, I think if you were to counteract it, like Van Damme and Seagal were the karate versions of Stallone and Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Because Schwarzenegger was always like on top of the world, unstoppable, great, amazing being.
So Stallone.
But Stallone was always the one with that emotional broken arc.
Stallone was the one that was able to make his career last longer through just
I just think the characters that they played in the movies that they did. Like, I think Stallone was Rocky, a broken character.
Yeah, I think
Rambo, a broken character. Schwarzenegger was unstoppable Terminator. Yeah. You know, like and like Steven Seagal was unstoppable, and Van Damme was broken. Like,
but he had moments. Even at Schwarzenegger's hype, he had moments of like. Of those emotional aspects, because in Kindergarten Cop...
He was never weak.
In Kindergarten Cop...
But he was never weak.
He was never weak, but in Kindergarten Cop, he did have those emotions.
So he had moments
But I think that Seagal was the unique of all of them, because he was purely and unapologetically, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
Like,
he was a no-fear sticker on, like, a Harley Davidson.
He's like, Seagal, you have a child. It's like, I don't care.
Steven Seagal was the guy who puts those dangling cow balls on the back of his Dodge Ram
like,
with exhaust
care.
That blows smoke into your fucking face.
Hey, Mr. Seagal, you haven't seen your kid in 5 years. What are you doing? He's like, is he a man? I don't care.
He was Leonidas in Sparta.
He's completely Leonidas. So yeah, but Van Damme definitely did have those emotional arcs even back in the day. Like, I remember Cyborg when it came out. He was like, I didn't want to see you die.
No. Actually, to tell you the truth, if you look at Steven Seagal and the dad that he was in movies, he was actually the dad who never showed up, never saw his kid, didn't give a flying fuck about him, was always on the job. But he would come over like at the right time and rub the kid's head and think he was the best dad ever. And like, way to go, champ. And then like,
you know what?
He's so vain. He thinks that he's the greatest dad because he did that.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would think that he was the greatest dad too if he was my dad. If he gave me a little bit of attention and rubbed my hand, like, dude, let me tell you a story. I was like, Dad, you're the greatest. Like, I would probably love Seagal for that, but whatever.
We went from Steven Seagal into painful dad memories.
Yeah, we don't need to go into that territory. So, this was a great podcast. We got some demons out for that at the end.
I liked it.
So that's what we watched. That was our week, it's been our week. There's been so many crazy things been happening. Welcome to Towns from the Crypt. So, how's your week been going, sweet faces? Have you been doing good with your life? Have you been fucking the right amount of girls or guys? Or have you been just sticking with the most normal relationships ever? And I want to know about that. Do you have a normal relationship? Are you guys doing good with your lives? Good for you.
What is a normal relationship? Does anyone have one? I don't think it exists.
Okay, fucking Daria from MTV.
It doesn't.
Jesus
We're
Christ.
all so fucking fucked up deep
thank
down.
you guys so much for joining us for episode 6 of this podcast. I'm glad that we're still doing it. You guys have been really asking for it, which makes it even better. Like, you guys asking for a podcast in the comments of YouTube really makes it even more worthwhile for us to get together to do it. So until next time, you stay frosty with your nips out, and we'll make sure to fucking milk those later on when we come back. Don't you worry about it. We're going to get those milked up fresh.
That's wham. We're going to milk ya. That was weird.
Yeah, I don't know what you were doing. I just want to end it.
I was just going off of what you did.
So anyway, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time, and you have a great sexual experience the next couple of weeks.
I have to go now.
Bye.
Bye.